guys, it is that Pandagon. I'm here again with another video, and today we are looking at Elena, the new rider hero. And I think that in general she is going to be a pretty solid rider hero. She looks like she does have pretty high potential and a lot. I think mostly field. I've seen that she does have some counter rally potentials, but in general I think that she's going to shine a lot on the field as well, more so than like actual counter rallies. But I will talk about her, look at her skills, and tell you guys what order I would probably upgrade her skills in. I also want to start off by saying that she is a lucky roulette hero. She's going to be a lucky roulette hero, and if I didn't mention this, she can only be unlocked if your region's history age or whatever is over 230 days. So yeah, do note that, and let's hop into it. So to start off, I do want to mention that her, talent build is going to be pretty good, since she does have a skill talent build, meaning that she is more so optimal for the field compared to, let's say, Jonathan. I mean, Jonathan, if you are going to use him, even if you would want him to be a support, being that he has a support build, and obviously skill builds are generally better. So if you could lead with, let's say, Elena or even Bella, since she has a kind of skill build here as well, those would probably be more optimal choices. So yeah. Next, we are looking at this. So rage card is 1000 damage to target every 3 seconds, and the damage factor can be up to 5.4 thousand. And if you are flanking the target, meaning that you aren't the main target's focus and you're kind of hitting it from the side or behind, that damage factor can be increased all the way up to almost 6,000. And I do want to mention, this is for every second for those 3 seconds, meaning that you're basically putting out 16,000 damage, and actually probably more than that. So in general, this might be these are some insane numbers for a damage factor. I wasn't really thinking about the once every 3 seconds. It was kind of confusing me, and then I understood it, and that's really OP. And if the target is flanked, of course that hops up even more. So just in general, that skill damage seems like it's going to be killer. Honestly, going to be nuts. And next, we're looking at our second skill. So when you're receiving AoE damage, there's a 50% chance, and this can go all the way up to 90%. Chance of reducing damage received by up to 40%. This effect can be triggered at most once every 6 seconds. And I do want to mention, I was thinking that Peterson would apply to this, doing AoE shots at her, since Peterson does have an AoE 3 squads fan-shaped area thing, but it isn't actually a damage AoE, which it says here. So I thought that she would be pretty good going against Peterson on towers, and it's still possibly the case, but in general this doesn't apply to his skill. If you're not using, let's say, Lewis or something, this thing isn't going to be really triggering. It actually has to be AoE damage. So I don't really see this being very useful in a tower rally, unless maybe, let's say, your rally's getting swarmed and then you have AoE targets hitting your rally from behind. Maybe this will trigger then, but in general that doesn't seem very likely. So on the field, I think this might be good, especially since there are a lot of AoE heroes used in field combat. So if you're running, let's say, a murder ball, I think that this skill could be useful and probably would get triggered every once in a while. Next is her when flanking enemy troops, rider squad defense increases by up to 30%, and damage to flank target increases by up to 13.5%. So if you're flanking a target, so I'll give an example, like I said, counter rallies. If you're hitting a target from behind, you're basically flanking them, right? So this will just kind of increase rider squad defense, and then also your damage to flank targets is going to be increased. So if you're using this as a counter rally, I still see this being pretty nasty, especially if you can increase your defense. This is really good to kind of counter swarms, especially if you're also using Jonathan. In this case, I think he's going to be pretty okay at counter rallies, and his skills are just more suited for it. So in general, that's going to be pretty solid for that. I think I don't really see her being I'm not sure how I feel about her being a main rally here. I think that she's still going to be good, especially with this freaking damage factor, but I still also see her being useful as a counter rally hero. Just wanted to get that out there. Fourth skill, increases basic attack damage by up to 30%. When rage is above 50%, the basic attack can increase all the way up to 53%, meaning that when it's under 50 rage, let's say right here, you're going to be at 9%, but right when your rage goes over 50%, it's going to momentarily hop up to, let's say, 16%. Of course, this can go all the way up to 53% and, always be at 30%, hopping up and down. But in general, you get the point. This will increase and decrease the freaking basic attack. And I heard that basic attack has something to do with skill damage and stuff, and it might actually impact your skill damage from StarCraft. So that is interesting, and I think that that might be super OP if that is the case. And I'd have to talk about that more on another like topic if I was to maybe try to dabble into that. But yeah. Next is her Awaken skill, which is Rider Squad attack increases by 20% and travel speed increases by 15%. I think that the Rider Squad attack increase by 20% is pretty solid, and then travel speed, I don't really care to, like, honestly, I've never really cared about travel speed. I know there's some people who are like all about the time and stuff, but I don't really care about being super fast. But I still think that's pretty solid because, you know, travel speed never hurts and it's pretty good to have. And I will talk about how I would probably build her. Honestly speaking, it's a really hard one, right? Because some of these skills are really just tempting for me. So I think that I would probably build her 1-4. Yeah, honestly, I probably have to build her 1-4-3-2. It's hard because the thing is, this one is so unreliable, right? I just feel that this skill is not as reliable as maybe just the flanking one because I'm more likely to be swarming down a target, and I want this, you know, if like I said, if I'm not getting targeted by that squad that I'm swarming, this should be flanking damage. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure any target that isn't like 1v1ing, you know, is going to be kind of flanking or whatever. And I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But yeah, that is about it. I think that this hero is going to be pretty solid. I think that she's going to be pretty viable, and I can actually see myself running Bella and Elena, and then maybe, let's say, Night Devil. I'm never pronouncing his name again because I feel like I embarrass myself every time. Probably him and Catherine. Catherine probably leading him. That's if I do end up spinning on Catherine. I think eventually I might, and then that would be pretty good. The thing is, I don't need 2 rider heroes or rider captain squads, so I only need 1. So this would probably work. I'd probably run Bella and Elena on the field. Seems like a solid pair. If I was to rally something, probably Elena and, you know, my little Night Devil over here. Still not saying his name, but yeah, you guys have an amazing day or night though, and I do appreciate you guys for watching as always, and that will be it. Peace out.